If you're starting a new business in California, it can be overwhelming, but it doesn't have to be. But hang with me for a while because today we're going to go over 2 ways to start your own LLC in California so it doesn't have to be stressful for you. The first way is to do it all yourself directly through the state, and the second is using an LLC service that literally walks you through everything. We're checking out both options, and I'm going to walk you through everything step by step so you know exactly what to do. Let's get into it. So what exactly is an LLC? An LLC, or better known as a limited liability company, is a type of business structure that gives you the flexibility and the simplicity you'd find in a partnership with the liability protection of a corporation. By forming an LLC, you establish a separate legal entity for your business, meaning your personal assets are separate from your company's liability. So, in other words, if your LLC has any legal problems or even debt, your personal assets should be out of the picture. Also, LLCs give their owners flexibility in management, taxation options, and the chance to bring in multiple owners, known as members, who can share in the company's profit and losses. All of these benefits have made the LLC a popular choice for many people just starting new or existing businesses. Now, like I mentioned earlier, there are 2 ways to set up an LLC. First, I'm going to show you how to do it on your own. Now, just so you know that in many states, LLCs are formed through their Secretary of State. California is no different. So saying that, let's go ahead and get started. So first up, obviously, you need a name for your LLC. Make sure the name you pick is unique and not already in use or similar to another business. The business name database on the California Secretary of State's website can help you make sure the name you want is available. Now, California does have a few guidelines when it comes to naming your business. For example, it needs to have LLC or a limited liability company either spelled out or abbreviated at the end of your business name. It must be different from other existing names, including names that sound similar. And finally, it can't have restricted words. There are a few, but some of the more common ones are bank, trust, and corporation. Now, if you're not sure about the name, California lets you reserve a business name. The same rules naturally would still apply, but this gives you a way to save the name so it can't be taken by anyone else while you're still making up your mind. You can reserve more than one name at a cost of $10 each. Just know this isn't a permanent solution since the hold will expire after 60 days. Next, you need a registered agent. A registered agent's job is to be the middleman for important legal documents for the business. The registered agent must have a physical address in California, be available during business hours, and is able to accept all legal papers for the business. And yes, you can be your own registered agent. Many businesses choose not to do that, so their information won't be readily available to the public, especially if you run your business out of your home, in which case your home address would be published as the address for the business. Now, once you have a name or name reserved and a registered agent, you can move on to actually creating your LLC. In California, you would fill out the Form LLC 1, called the Secretary of State Articles of Organization Limited Liability Company. In this application, they're going to ask for the name of your LLC, the address of the business, the name of your registered agent, how the LLC will be managed, the signature of who is forming the LLC, and the cover sheet included with the application needs to be completed as well. And naturally, any of the state fees would be due with the application. The fee is $70. If you want a certified copy, the cost is an additional $5. Forms can be submitted online, by mail, or in person at the Secretary of State's office in Sacramento, although there is an additional handling fee when you submit the application in person. Now, the next step is to create an operating agreement. Now, not every state actually requires LLCs to have one, but California is one of those few states where it is mandatory. Now, while the state doesn't need a copy, one should be kept with the rest of your LLC paperwork. Even if the LLC only has one member, an operating agreement would still be required. An operating agreement in California should list how ownership is to be divided in the LLC, the roles of each member, how decisions will be made, what happens if a member wants to leave the business, or if members want to end the LLC altogether. Now, whatever info you put in your operating agreement isn't set in stone. It can be updated whenever there are changes in the LLC. These agreements are incredibly important in order to avoid misunderstandings and problems you might face down the line. Next, you need an employer identification number or an EIN for your business. An EIN is kind of like a social security number for your business. Getting one is important if you plan to open a business bank account, apply for a business loan, hire employees, or even pay business income taxes. Of course, the name you apply for your EIN, it must be the same as your LLC. Getting an EIN is free, and it can be done online or by mail directly through the IRS. Next, you need to get your business ready to pay the necessary taxes. In California, every LLC doing business in the state must pay an annual tax of $800. This amount can be higher if your business makes more than $250,000 annually. The tax is due on the 15th day of the 4th month following the date you file your articles of organization, which definitely sounds confusing, but basically it means if your LLC was filed in September, you would owe your first payment no later than December 15th. The month you file counts as the first month regardless of whether you formed your LLC at the beginning of the month or at the end of the month. After your first payment, your next payment would be due by April 15th. This tax is unavoidable unless you had no business in California in the tax year or if the tax year was less than 15 days. Beyond that annual franchise tax, you would also be responsible for federal, state, and for many areas, local taxes. On top of that, you could be subject to self-employment, sales, excise, fuel taxes, and environmental fees, depending on what your business does. So there is a better, easier, and less stressful way to get all of this done. I literally don't have the time or the patience to do it all myself, and honestly, I would most likely just mess something up anyway. So that's why I went with Zenbusiness to set up my LLC. In my opinion, it's a solid option, especially if it's your first time starting a business, since they make it incredibly easy and straightforward to do. There are other great options out there as well. I've tried LegalZoom, Tailor Brands, and Swift Filings before, and if you're curious how they compare, I've linked my full reviews down in the description below, so go check them out. All right, so if you haven't heard of Zenbusiness, it's a popular formation service that helps you handle the legal and compliance side of starting a business. They take care of all of the required filings and other helpful extras like drafting an operating agreement, filing a DBA, and staying on top of annual report deadlines. They also support S Corp and C Corp formations, not just LLCs. Altogether, it works as a one-stop shop to keep your business legally covered so you can focus on actually running it. And if Zenbusiness sounds like it's for you, there is an exclusive link in the description below that takes you straight to their site to get started. Now let's talk about using Zenbusiness for your LLC. The first step is to click the Start an LLC button on its website. From there, you'll type in the name you picked for your LLC and select California from the drop-down menu. Next, you're going to answer some questions about your business, and the system will suggest any extras you might need based on your situation. Something like, do you need an EIN?
Then you would just pick the Zenbusiness plan that works best for you. It starts with the free starter plan, and you only need to pay the state filing fee, which makes it a budget-friendly choice for new entrepreneurs. This tier covers essential LLC filings with a 100% accuracy guarantee and includes a 30-day free trial of their web tools like the AI website builder, domain, and business email. From there, their Pro plan costs around $200 per year plus state fees. It adds one-day rush filing so your application is processed as fast as possible. You also get your EIN and a customizable operating agreement template included, which does save you from having to pay for those as separate add-ons later. It even includes ongoing compliance with up to 2 amendment filings at no extra charge. And if you want the highest tier, the premium plan is about $400 per year plus state fees. It includes everything in the Pro plan with premium essentials, such as their registered agent service to protect your privacy, a one-on-one business advisor consultation, and a 60-day trial of Money Pro to manage your invoicing and taxes. Plus, you get the full business documents library and advanced compliance coverage, which gives you 24/7 monitoring, a money-back guarantee on missed deadlines, and unlimited amendment filings to keep your business records current as you grow. So whether you're just getting started or looking for a more streamlined way to handle the paperwork, Zenbusiness gives you a few solid options to choose from.
Whether you're just getting started or if you're looking for a more streamlined way to handle the paperwork, Zenbusiness gives you a few solid options to choose from. So it is literally that simple. You can do it all yourself or let a business formation service handle the process for you. It just depends on your situation and if you are brave enough to try doing it yourself. If you're short on time or you want everything done for you fast and simple, then Zenbusiness is a solid option. They guide you through the whole process, handle the filings, and even include helpful extras like compliance reminders and an operating agreement depending on your plan. Now, if you don't mind doing some homework and you want to save some money, then you could just do it all yourself. Either way, this video has you covered. It just depends on your specific needs. It's not as scary or as difficult as you might think. All right, so that wraps up this video. Go ahead and like and subscribe to the channel for more videos just like this. And if you're thinking about Zenbusiness or trying Zenbusiness, there is a link in the description below that takes you straight to their website. Sometimes you might have special deals in the link, so check it out and see if they are still available. Also, if you are interested in working with us or sponsoring a future video, just reach out using the email in the description below. If you have any questions or comments, drop them below and I'll do my best to reply as soon as I can. Finally, guys, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.